Two claps. Ready? Hey, it's Coach John Beam with the Coach John Beam Ready podcast. I got my special guest, Gerris Wilkerson, Super Bowl champion Gerris Wilkerson. Here we go. Two claps. Ready? G, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Coach. Glad to be here.
So Gerris played for me at Skyline High School, then went on to Georgia Tech, where it was a third-round draft pick by the Giants. Went on to play in a Super Bowl against the undefeated Patriots and beat them in Arizona. Tell me how it felt that day, G.
Oh man, Coach, it was awesome. The whole day was kind of a blur, but I remember the two things I remember the most is the warm-ups, just because, usually before a game, you go out there for warm-ups and the stadium might be, 20%, 30% filled. But we went out there in Arizona for the warm-ups before the game, man, and like an hour, 15 minutes before the game, you couldn't even see a seat. It was just standing room only. And they had the speakers on the field pumping, the whole field was just vibrating during warm-ups. And, I knew we was in for a different type of game at that point. And the only other thing I really remember is, of course, the helmet catch by David Tyree. And then after that, I just remember the confetti. Plexico caught that sluggo in the corner. And then after that, I just remember the confetti coming down and hugging my brother and, getting a chance to celebrate with my family. And man, it was a special day.
Yeah, and thanks to you, I was there too. It was unbelievable. I got to be at the party afterward when y'all came in celebrating. Some of the fools didn't have no shirt on. I'm like, shower and decide not to get dressed. Huh? Walk in with cigars. What a night. What a night. Yeah, that was a long day, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a long one. But it was worth it, man. Just something that you could tell your kids, tell your grandkids about, and just unforgettable.
So let's just walk me through that day if you can, right? So what time did you get up that morning from the team hotel?
We probably got up like around 7:30, something like that.
So what'd you do at 7:30? Game's not until what, 3:30 that afternoon. So what are you doing now? What is Gerris Wilkerson doing?
I get up, take a shower. We go downstairs, have breakfast. We had like a chapel service where we have somebody come give us like a little motivational talk, and then like prayer service, and then go back to the room, try to relax for a little while, and then probably like around 12. Let me see, what time was it? Yeah, like 3:30 kickoff, so probably like around 12 o'clock came down for a pregame meal and got on the bus. Get to the stadium like maybe 2.5 hours before the game, and after that, the rest is history.
Yeah, so you got up at 7. I left you around 2 a.m. at the party. You probably stayed up all night. You could go back to bed, did you?
Yeah, man. I might have got a couple hours of sleep that night. I remember waking up the next day, man, and you could definitely tell some guys didn't even go to sleep. Like some guys still had the same clothes on from the night before, and guys had their hotel room doors propped open, like they was partying all night long.
So when you got up the next morning, now did you guys have to check out that day? Then is that the deal?
I think what did we do? We was at the hotel. We didn't. I think we did check out that day, but we didn't check out until like 12, 1 o'clock. We had a late checkout. And then we headed back to New York that next day.
Oh, you did. So you went back to New York and then had your exit meeting and came back home.
Yeah.
Wow. What a day, huh? What an experience. Tell me about, the 2 weeks. So you win the playoff game, you're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What was that 2 weeks like prepared for the game? And for you as you're a linebacker, special teams ace, you're living in New York, but your family's here in Oakland.
Yeah.
How was that time for you?
It was exciting and crazy, just trying to figure out the ticket situation. I had people that had never been to a game that I ever played in ever. Like I don't want to call my grandmother out, but my grandmother never seen me play in person my whole life. But you know she wants some Super Bowl tickets. So you know dealing with tickets, dealing with family, just trying to get everything prepared, but still stay focused on the game. And you know you have some time because you know you have 2 weeks in between. So you know, try to deal with all the logistics and getting everything squared away with family and flights and hotels and all, you know, dealing with all the different requests to get your family and everybody set up. And then so you know, you still have some practice and preparation that week, and then try to make the Super Bowl week just all about the game. You know, so deal with all the logistics and stuff the first week, and then lock in that next week and get ready for the game.
So when you so you're in New York that first week and you're spending the time doing the logistics. So by the time that you got to Arizona, were you just concentrating on football at that point then because your family was taken care of?
Everything was taken care of. We came into, I think we got into Arizona maybe Monday of Super Bowl week. And then you know, we had our practice facility and everything was just about the game at that point.
So I don't want you to throw anybody on the bus and give names, but you get into Arizona, right? That first day, and you guys are kind of off. You know, you're doing what you need to do during the day, but now it's nighttime. You're in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Now, so are some people just going back to the room being ready, or are people just wilding out? Tell the truth. You don't know names, but just what's going on.
I mean, you know, the Giants is a very classy organization.
Okay.
And, we were locked in. We were focused. You know, I'm sure a handful of guys still went out and saw the sights and had some late night activities. But we came from New York, so you know you can't really compete with New York. Super Bowl week is a different story, obviously, but you know it's a party every night in New York. So being in Arizona with the Super Bowl week, we were able to lock in and be focused.
Okay. So what do you think right now? Those guys have been in LA, right? They got in LA today. They're flying into LA today, right? You got media day coming up. Young guys, vets, right? You know, does Cincinnati, the Bengals have a disadvantage coming in because you know the Rams are there. They're sleeping in their own beds right now. They're not trying to do logistics, right? Their people are there. Is that an advantage or a disadvantage for either team? Do you think?
I mean, you know, you would think it's an advantage for the Rams being at home and just like being able to follow their normal home game routine. So it's just like any other week. But you know, the thing about it is it's still the Super Bowl, and I could argue that the Bengals have less pressure on them because you know they're the underdogs. They're traveling. The Rams they have the pressure of you know defending their home field and trying to like you know really try to solidify their fan base in LA. Whereas the Rams, the Bengals have less pressure on them, so maybe they can just go out there and just ball, you know. So while everybody in LA is trying to like you know give tickets to their favorite celebrities and all that stuff, the Bengals are just you know they might be able to focus a little bit more on just getting out there and balling.
So they're not hanging out. You know, the Rams are gonna be hanging out with Snoop Dogg right now. Is what you're trying to say?
Basically.
They got Lisa Ray doing some comedy, going down to Inglewood, hanging out. You know? All right. And you know, all right. So this is what I tell people. People don't realize this, right? Gerris Wilkerson, outside linebacker, inside linebacker. But in that year, you're playing the Patriots. They're undefeated. They got Randy Moss. Everybody always talking about being Moss. They try to put him one-on-one with you, and you ran step for step with Randy Moss, right? Tell people that you ain't no joke, man. You from the town, baby.
Hey, Coach, you know, I had to put my DB skills on Randy. You know, we was in the red zone. I know that Tom Brady was going for his touchdown record, so you know who he's throwing the ball to. But you know, I just had to lock in and get it done. Show Randy how you do it in the town.
I definitely showed him how to do it, man. And I was so proud of you when you did it. I'm like, I was just screaming like, that's my boy, man. You know you can't go against my boy. Shit. He's from the town, man. That's nothing but town biz, baby. Got that Titan pride. All right. So, now that your career's over, right? You went, you played college, your goal out of high school was get a Division I scholarship. You got to play at Georgia Tech, a Power 5 school. You're an academic All-American. You're an all-conference player. You go to the Senior Bowl. You're the Defensive Player of the Year. You go to the draft. The draft coming. Were you getting nervous about was your name going to be called?
Yeah, the thing about the draft, I knew I came out projected to go between the second and the fourth round, and that's a wide range. But the thing that put pressure on me about the draft was I told my dad, so I'm in Atlanta for the draft. My dad lives in Atlanta, and I told my dad, I don't want to have a big party. Let's just keep it low key, just immediate family. The draft day comes, we having a party. I'm at the house, so then the thing about it at that point was, they did the first in 2000, this is 2006, the first round, the first 3 rounds were on the first day of the draft.
Correct.
And so like at that point I was just like, okay, it's like 60 people at the house. Just let me go on the first day. Don't make it to where I gotta tell these people bye and then see you tomorrow or something like that. I'm like, just go on the first day. And there was a couple teams that I met with before the draft. Miami and Houston were the 2 teams that had showed the most interest in me. And I remember Miami had an early pick in the second round. I'm like, all right, maybe this is where I'll go. And they drafted a wide receiver. And then I think Houston came up kind of in the middle of the third round. They ended up drafting a linebacker from Alabama or something. I'm like, man, so now I'm kind of sweating a little bit. And it gets toward the end of the round, and then I finally got that phone call, and ended up being I think I was the second to last pick in the third round. So I made it on the first day by 2 picks.
Hey, you made it on the first day. That's all that matters, brother.
Yeah.
So, you get drafted, you play in a Super Bowl, you got a Super Bowl ring, and football's over. Yeah. How many years did you play in the NFL?
I played 5 years and 3 weeks.
Let's say 6-year career, right?
Yeah.
So when you finished, how old were you, Gerris?
I was 29.
29 years old, and now life has to really start, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing now? I mean, tell us what you're doing now.
Yeah, so I kind of always knew I wanted to get into real estate. My grandfather had our family business in real estate with some rental properties and stuff like that in Oakland and Berkeley. And as soon as the draft was over, I was kind of like, man, what do I do next? And my first mind was like, man, just go back to school and get a little bit more education. Decided to go to University of San Francisco for my MBA. And as I was working on my MBA, I'm working on renovating some of my family's rental properties to get that business rolling. And then I got connected to another Skyline High School alumni, Adam Goldenberg. We started working on commercial. He introduced me to commercial real estate. And so I was thinking about it in April. It'll be 7 years that I've been working in commercial real estate, and it's been a hell of a journey. I enjoy it. It's been just really special to work in the commercial real estate industry in my hometown where I grew up, and just really have a chance to just experience my city from a whole other angle. Being a real estate investor and being a real estate manager. And I've been doing it for 7 years now. I love it. Wouldn't change a thing.
So who connected you with your real estate partner, by the way?
Coach Beam.
Hey, who helped you get your MBA paid for, by the way?
Coach Beam.
Oh shit, that's 2 for 2, baby.
I guess whenever Coach Beam retire, I guess I'm gonna have to retire too, because everything, all my opportunities from high school to college to the NFL to post career, Coach Beam is the connector.
Well, trust me, we're not going to retire. We're just going to pivot, right? Is that what the new word is called? Pivot.
That's it. That's it.
You know. So, Gerris, you're in real estate. You know, and I talk about this all the time. You were a special young man growing up. You know, your mom did a phenomenal job with you. You know, just as a role model, and taught you such great values. And then working with Adam now in real estate, in commercial real estate. How many people are doing what you're doing that look like you in this job that you're doing?
It might be one other person. Like, you know, we really, like, literally, we recently sold a building. The first building I started working on, and throughout that sales process, we had about I say like 40 or 50 companies that made an offer on the building. And with those 40, 50 companies, we maybe had 100 actual individuals come to see the building. There was literally one other Black male that came to see the building out of those 100 different people that toured the building, potential buyers. There was one other Black male that I saw come see the building. So that just gives you like a sort of a percentage. You know, it's like 1% or less maybe.
Yeah, 1%. That's a great way to look at it. And if we looked at that 1%, what would you say to, there are 32 teams in the NFL right now, currently, and there's one African-American head coach in the NFL. Is that similar experience, you think?
It sounds like it. It sounds like it. You know, you know, the thing about it is when you have a league like the NFL that the product on the field is what, 60, 70% African-American? And but then when you look at the coaches, and you look at the ownership, it's nowhere near the representation that you have on the field. And you know, with the whole Rooney Rule and everything, and you know, I think the New York Giants are one of those teams that are like one of those foundational teams of the NFL, like Giants, Steelers, just, you know, Packers, those original organizations. And they have to do a better job. You know, the Rooney Rule obviously hasn't really panned out. There was more African American coaches in the NFL when the Rooney Rule came out than there are today, which is, you know, 17 years later or something like that. So yeah, there's obviously some changes that need to be made to have more Black representation in the coaches' offices and in the ownership.
So when you heard, you know, Anthony Flores' statement about, you know, from the Giants, you saw the text message from Belichick about the Giants. Were you shocked that the Giants had already made a decision to go with a one coach and not go with, even give Anthony a fair chance for the job? Were you shocked by that, or you think it's business as usual?
To be honest, I wasn't shocked. It didn't surprise me. I wish I was shocked, you know, because that's just been like you said, that's been business as usual, and it's kind of sad, you know. It's kind of just it's really disappointing. I hold the Giants and organization in the high esteem, being that I did play there for 5 years, won a Super Bowl, made good money. You know, the Giants operate like a sort of a family organization. Like the vibe with the Giants is different than the vibe you feel with a lot of other NFL teams, from what I've experienced and what I've heard. But when it comes to that breaking that color barrier, and it's when it comes to hiring good coaches and coaches that when it comes to hiring good coaches and their process that they go through, something obviously has to change. You know, they need to do better and step up.
So when you were with the Giants, did you ever feel there was some race issues going on or unsettled, or did you feel like they did treat you like family?
I felt like they took good care of the players. I felt like, you know, there was some tension. There was some tension that you could feel sometimes, like if you're just in the lunchroom, or, you know, there's some like class separation that you could feel, which is you can feel that anywhere. You know, you can feel that anywhere in America. But like the Giants took good care of their players, which I appreciated. I always felt like I was a part of a good organization, and I can't really like speak anything bad about the Giants organization, but except for the fact that I don't think the Giants have never had a head coach that was a person of color, and you know I think that it's time that they change up their habit or their routine when it comes to that. There's been like Black coaches that have proven that they can get it done, and proven that they can operate at a championship level, and it's time to change the routine.
So I asked this to CJ Anderson. CJ was on here right before you, right?
Sure.
And so I asked CJ, you know, he played for the Broncos. With the Broncos up for sale right now, they're talking about the Broncos are going to apply for about $4 billion. Should the NFL owners come together and make sure that team, that franchise is bought by a minority ownership, right? So whether it's a Black owner, African-American owner, you know, Latin American owner or something, would that be too much to ask that, hey, look, and then you're going to help this Black ownership buy it. You know, we're going to give you the loan. We don't want to short the trust from the money they deserve, but we want to make sure that you can get a Black owner. Would that be a way to go to help change the NFL?
That sounds like a great idea to me. You know, I think that it's something. I think that it's something that would be a great statement by the NFL and the owners and the executives. I think that would be a great statement, especially given the current conversation around the coaching. You know, there should be a similar conversation going on about the ownership, and I think that doing something like that would be a step in the right direction. Will it happen? I doubt it.
So you got a degree from Georgia Tech, you know, highly sought, you know, very, very prestigious academic place. You got a master from USF in business. So why wouldn't it be in the business interest, best business interest for the NFL to do that? Wouldn't it help bring in more dollars?
I think so. I think it improves their public perception of what the NFL, you know, stands for and the brand. You know, I think that to have a organization as popular and as powerful as the NFL is, for the ownership level to be such a limited spectrum of and such a non-diverse or like group of owners is bad business in a sense. You know, I know they've been doing well with viewership and growing their brand recently internationally and whatever else they've been doing.
It's worldwide. The NFL brand's worldwide, right?
Worldwide brand, and I think that there's a way that the ownership is set up in the NFL. They're limiting their potential to like tap into a more diverse and wide range. You know, just with all the diversity that we have on the field, they're limiting the scope of what they could do by having such a limited ownership group.
So I know that your brother Marlon, right, works for Duffy, an agent. So everybody, Jarrett's brother is a sports agent. He works for Duffy, and Duffy is one of the biggest basketball agents, right?
Yeah.
But he's also formed a group of black owners to buy the first NFL team for the Oakland.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Have you talked to Marlon about that all? So Bill Duffy's ready to, you know, he's one of the principal guys trying to bring a franchise to Oakland that's going to be a stadium owned by Black owners and a team by Black owners.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Is that possible?
I think it is. It sounds like a great plan. And I think it sounds like something that's very fitting to the city of Oakland. With the history that Oakland has, and with the disappointment that Oakland has had recently with teams leaving, with the situation with the Raiders leaving, the controversy around the A's. Oakland. That seems like the perfect situation for a city like Oakland to, and I think it's a great concept that they're working on. I hope they're successful.
Or how about this one? So, Gerris, over the last 7 years, I mean, what you have been doing, right? You, with probably close to $200 million of property here in Oakland, right? I might be exaggerating a little bit, but not by much. Right? That's a down payment. So what about me and you putting a group together and let's go buy the Broncos? We only got to get, a few billion more. Can we make it happen?
Coach, hey, I think if we really put our heads down, we can make something shake.
Well, we got some people, right? We know some people, right? That said they would back what we do. Now, am I get to be the CFO or the CEO, or you get to be the president? I mean, how we got to figure that one out, right?
We can work it out.
And then we go get this thing done. I mean, you could be the GM.
That sounds good to me.
And I don't even have to be the coach. I can be the assistant running back coach or something. Not the number one running back coach, but the assistant to the assistant running back coach. But I think we go to Denver. We could shake it up. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Hey, they want to be with their daddy. You know how it is. But I just think I mean, why not? We just got to make the right calls. You and I. You haven't made that call yet. There's beautiful number 3. All right. I love it. So, I think that's what we got to do now. So, all right. We talked a little bit at the Super Bowl. I know you don't have a lot of time with three daughters, 3 beautiful daughters and a beautiful wife. Tell me what's your prediction for this Super Bowl. Rams or the Bengals?
So I have a former college teammate that is the defensive line coach and assistant defensive coordinator for the Rams. So given that connection, I gotta go with the Rams. I'm gonna throw out a score. I'm gonna say 23-20.
All right. So who's your college roommate?
Eric Henderson.
Okay. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
So you're not going to the game though?
I'm not going. I went to the NFC Championship game.
Oh, you did?
I had a great time down there. But being that I do have a 1-month-old daughter, I'm not gonna try to get a hall pass for 2 games.
You went down to the game. You didn't invite me?
Coach, it was just a little last minute invite. I got the ticket at the last second. I just had to get my little flight and make it happen, Coach.
Wow. I thought, this week would be me and your weekend in LA together with my looks and your looks. See, we might be on some fashion, we might be paparazzi's following us all over the place. We could get our brand going.
Man, hey, sounds good. You going down, Coach?
I'm going down Thursday. I leave Thursday. Yeah, I'm going to do some stuff with the NFL Trust.
Nice.
And then I'm going to meet with Rabbit and his organization.
Yep.
And then I'm going to meet with KP. I'm going to meet up with KP. We're staying at Nat's house, right? And
nice.
I'm going to do some things with Marshawn. And then, Shawnee's going to be down there, and him and I are going to talk, and I want to meet him. I want to introduce him to some financial guys, right?
Nice.
Not just first year as a rookie, getting a little bit of experience. But I'm gonna love it right now. He's going to go to the Super Bowl. He's not going to go to the game, but he's going down there. But he's driving. He's not going to waste money on a plane ticket. But he said today, that's why you got to have another conversation with him. Today he was talking about he wants 12 cars.
12 cars?
Yeah, he says, 7 days a week, so you're going to have one for each day. And I go, okay, that's 7. What are you going to do with the other 5? He goes, well, I'm going to rotate them. And he's a 3rd-round draft pick. I try to tell him, NFL, not for long, but, these rookies, man.
You need to start a car rental business, buying all those cars. Sure.
Exactly. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on, Gerris. I've noticed that I see your jersey in the back. Do you see your jersey right here on mine? Can you see it? So we got those Super Bowl jerseys hanging out there. I'm loving it. You know, both got the white. You know, I think it's the same jersey probably.
Yeah,
it's the Super Bowl one.
Mine is game one. That's the one I wore in the game. So,
well, I tell everybody yours is. This one had the Super Bowl patch on it, so I said it was. So I just told him you wore it out for warm-ups. This is what he wore up, like, you know, when Alicia Keys was out there in warm-ups, I told him she brushed against it, right? I mean, you know, there are so many celebrities at the game. That's just got to be crazy, you know, when you run out there, you see everybody. But in LA, it's gonna be off the chain.
That's gonna be crazy. The NFC Championship game was crazy. I mean, yeah, the game last week was crazy. But
It's been real good. So, hey, everybody, I appreciate y'all heard the prediction. Gerris talked about, you know, that we're going to see the Rams prevail. Yep. And his college teammate's going to get a ring, just like Gerris has a ring already. But really, it's not about the ring, boys and girls, really. It's about what you do with that ring. And in Gerris's case, he got his education, got his master's, MBA, is doing some great things here in Oakland. I appreciate everything you do, G. And like I said, it's all about what? 2 claps. Ready? If you stay ready, you got to get ready. Thanks a lot, Gerris. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Coach. Love you.
All right. Take care.
Thanks for watching. And don't forget to comment and to like. And please subscribe. 2 claps. Ready?